coffee? Come on, let's get ready. Hi Letty, hi Jasmine. Give me guys a minute to get a coffee. Safi will entertain you, right Jeff? Right Jeff? Buongiorno. Hi Dean, how are you? Good morning everybody. How is everybody? Let me see who's here. Jasmine, you were the first one. That's something. Safi was like for 2 hours meow 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 meow. Like, I was like, okay, I have to drug you. I gave her lots of catnip. So who else do I have? Nani, Danny, Dean, Lati, hello. Thank you moderators for your help, and welcome to everybody who hasn't been here before. Hi Kim. From Michigan. There you go. Look, we have people from Michigan here, a lot. Hishek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this properly, so sorry. Look at the Aries. Sag from Netherlands. Hi Esther. Who else do we have? Doug. Hey, hello Doug. Are you here in Canada already, or still on the way? Temperance Rising. Good morning. Glad to hear from you. Yes. Let's start guys. Today I'm doing this Housewives tarot, so it's going to be fun. So Maine, there you go. Gemini from Italy, and there you go. Buongiorno, buongiorno. You're my neighbor in Europe. Okay, so Ireland, hello, look at that. Fire and Saggies. So it's your birthday, Nani? Lati had birthday last week, so happy birthdays to Geminis. Virgo from Miami. Are you guys having a coffee in front of you as well? I hope. I love to have coffee with you in the morning. Love, 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 love. Nani's Gemini too. Hey Nani, happy birthday to you as well. And Saggies, probably because it's the opposite sign, are feeling kind of like weird kind of like during the Gemini transit, maybe even weak. That's usually what happens. Sherry, oh my gosh, we have Saggies here today, massively. So let's jump into it. Which element do I start with first? Which element? What do I feel? You guys give me your suggestions. Let me think. Air. All right, little Doug. Like, I mean, let's start with air. We were the last time. Yeah, Earth. Sorry. Doug, you're Gemini, aren't you? Doug, happy birthday to you as well. That's awesome. Like, we have like lots. Well, we have Earth. That's good to see. That can ground us. Otherwise, we'll be just like fire and air. And you know what happens when you get that. Even though Dean is here to kind of build the water. So, air is first. Air. 4. And air is getting messages. We are getting King of Pentacles and 8 of Wands reversed. That's not really awesome when it is reversed. That basically talks about certain messages are not going, but like I really have to go. Also, what I see is it maybe time for us guys to clean the place. I mean, I know I am trying to every day remove the pet hair, but this kind of like it can actually tell me that maybe somebody is going to give us sort of like a negative opinion about us, and you have to always check the source when this happens. King of Pentacles reversed also tends to be married, and it will be like almost like a man coming to his lover and then basically complaining, well, you know, I don't have this and I have this at home, sort of like a big baby kind of a thing. Or vice versa, could be a woman who is just like never happy. You go to a restaurant and every fork is dirty, that kind of a thing. Something like that is going to kind of like stand out in this period, that's for sure. I kind of like really had a good week. We had a kind of good forecast last week, but I was a little bit, I don't know, to myself, I would say, which kind of like maybe needed some kind of rest. So what other messages I have for air? What other messages I have for air? Oh, Seven of Swords and the Priestess. Who is betraying us? A gossip, guys. Gossip. Beware of gossip. And that again can go back to somebody telling us something about us as because they heard from somebody. There's definitely lots of gossip because the High Priestess is here and it's a secret syrup, like very appropriate. There is maybe something or somebody who is betraying us that can be seen that way as well. And we might find that through a third person. Oh boy, they're not going to have a good time with this. Let's see what's going to happen with this. And who could that be? It might even be a corporate setup. So especially guys, if you at work are doing, really be careful what you say, and like really literally trust no one this week. I would just like say this, like not who to say, but like really nobody, because this is not going to be great. Seven of Swords is like one of my most hated cards in the entire deck. So, oh my gosh, so here we go. We're getting a bundle. Gosh, the air is getting like plenty of readings. So here we go to put it, position it properly. Let me try to zoom this in so guys you can see it more. Then we have the Lovers, a Knight of Swords, Six of Swords, and Two of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and Four of Pentacles. I have to say this is a really strange combination. Can I go into this closer? No, I'm too close. The Lovers is always talking about the choice. So it could be kind of this Gemini energy that we are picking up. It could be simply that maybe there is somebody else coming in, because air signs can be just like that. You know, we can love you and you do something to us and we will tell you, look sweetie, I do love you, I love you a lot, but this is not productive, this is not how I imagine like relationship to be, so I'm gone. And if this is somebody who maybe have been kind of like lingering in the background, you know, that person looks like it's going to be cut off, and we might actually go to somebody else who maybe could be more productive, or simply kind of like Knight of Swords can be even us, the air. Knight of Swords is like about kind of like getting that truth, and look at him like getting this knives out. Everybody's in love with a bad boy, so we will that's what I was telling you. I kind of like felt this is coming. Like, I mean, it takes one to know one. Like, you betray me like this, and you know, like how the dogs and cats open their mouth like you go, ah. That's kind of like how this guy actually is. Kind of like everybody buzz off, and this is my choice. You see, this is a really good good explanation of this card, because the Lovers card is talking about the choice, not so much about, you know, being with someone. And it looks like that we are making a choice, looks like to be on our own, or maybe even move away from a situation. The Two of Pentacles is going to be juggle. What do I do? I really, generally this does talk about maybe juggling two people, but here it's clearly talking like, I mean, you're torn between pets and children and family and life, and maybe there are going to be lots of things on a plate which we are going to kind of like need to address. So I don't know if this is us, this Queen of Cups, kind of like stabilizing emotionally. I really feel it is. It looks like something is going to be very destabilizing, and we are going to go in a full air mode. It's kind of like, everybody back off. I need to deal with that. Maybe even a drive in a country or mini kind of like vacation. But like Six of Swords certainly can mean leaving the problems and hoping that the new start is going to be better. Sort of like Knight of Swords does have this to the point. What is the point? Why am I here? And it's going to be sort of like a review of things, but look at the amount of air I have here. So air is going to be air, guys. To everybody, beware. And Four of Pentacles is like really guarded attitude, kind of like to being closed in. Look, I have all these plates, and look at my plates, and nobody can use them. They're just for watching. We all know that, grandma and her plates, right? Or people who have those plastic on their lamps and furniture. That's kind of like a thing, like, why don't you enjoy it? Did you not get it to kind of like enjoy it, right? So kind of like it's interesting. So which deck do I use for the individual things? Which deck do I use? Yeah. Let's go with Morgan Greer because it's smaller to fit on a table. It was one of my favorite decks, if not the favorite deck, actually. Where is it? Here. So, Gemini, happy birthdays to all Geminis again. So let's see what's going to happen. You Geminis are bringing us this energy for sure, so it's going to be interesting. What is that song with Virginia? Na 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 na, na 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 na, something like that. Country Road. Yeah, take me home. Laura, hi Laura. Stardust. Where is like my turquoise, and where is Palladium today? We are missing people. My little community here. Nicole Summerside. Oh, Australia. Hello, down under. How is it going? You must be like the middle of the night for you. That's awesome, because like this term is like not great for my, you know, Aussie friends. So, Gemini. What are the messages for Gemini? 10 of Cups. Gemini is going to put on, and this is kind of like you, Gemini, really coming through here strongly as well. Looks like, you know, you might be putting a happy face, even though you might not like the situation, because I see the situation is going to be a lots of withdrawal energy. For air to withdraw, I have to tell you, it takes a lot, because you know how we have this fight or flight. We kind of like have here fight with air, always fight, and with fire sort of like flight would be more earth, and so sort of like this. I'm smarter, I'm not going to get involved with this, and air is going to pull your eyes out, kind of a thing. So let me just like see one more thing. Why is nothing else coming? Gemini. Oh, there it is, one more. Woo. But I think this is actually good. I like actually when a death card comes in this kind of like situation. You guys are transforming into something. There is like a definitely sense of, look, if I'm not happy, I need to change it. And this is kind of like the card that talks about conscientious choice and seeking some kind of freedom from whatever it is, attitudes, people, you know, issues. I don't know, maybe guys, you have an ex who is interfering, who is gossiping, and it's kind of like need to kind of like put the end to that kind of like dirt that is maybe coming your way. and you're trying to figure out how to do it in a sort of like maybe non-abrasive way, because that is like simply you are transforming. You're not telling others what they need to do and where to go. You're kind of like transforming it inside yourself emotionally. So it's kind of like very powerful. Hi, true Aqua Sun, miss you too. Let me see who's next. Libra. Good, Lati. I don't know if that was your energy coming through, but like there is like really clear thing coming through it. So let me see. Libra. Oh my gosh, you're getting the Seven of Swords as well. You know, Libra is going to go full frontal. Libra is going to go, you know, oh my gosh, talking about full frontal. Yesterday I was like binge watching, and thank you, Dean, binge watching the first season of Sex and the City, because my students are having kind of like one of these assignments to kind of like look into some kind of like personality types. So I was like just stuck on it. Like I watched one clip, second clip, and then oh my gosh, the whole season. So it was this guy who, like, Carrie is visiting friends at Hampton, and she wakes up in the morning and the guy greets her with full frontal. So it was kind of a funny scene, but I kind of like see it here. Libra, this is like your King of Pentacles. Somebody's going to come on you very strongly, almost like could be one of those, what they call them, pickup artists. Somebody who is underhanded, tries to put you down just like so you would think they're a good deal, kind of a thing. You know, this arrogance with kind of like weirdo, you know, pointed shirt kind of thing, like too much 70s slick guys to their own good. And they usually make a mistake when they do that to an air girl or a man. That's kind of like they see through them, because the air has this bullshit detector. It's like a red light that we kind of like see it over a person's heads, and it just goes lies. And you guys are sort of like getting kind of complete clarity, because you went from feeling betrayed to kind of like stepping back from the situation, and kind of like getting your aha moment about this person, and all of a sudden the magic is gone. They're not feeling that powerful, they're not feeling that strong, and they definitely felt like they are taking you down. This is actually your card as well. It is like ruled by Venus, and it's kind of interesting that she does have the moon under her feet in this deck. Usually that is the High Priestess. So that could be also definitely an X for Libra, because the High Priestess and the Empress could be mother and a child, and there is like definitely somebody who's not in a picture, and there is a complete clarity over here. And sort of like, look, you made me feel less of a woman, you made me feel less of a man, and that's it. So in a sense, this is going to be a really big week for air. So Aquarius, whoa, that's different. Aquarius, Aquarius, no, it's like too many, so let's go with these two. So Aquarius, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go upstairs or downstairs? Because it looks like Aquarius wants everything. Oh my gosh, look at this up. You're going to just exhaust yourself with trying to do so many things. Ace of Cups is like sort of like something coming to the surface. Maybe ability to kind of be loving, maybe finally opening up. It's kind of like some grounding effect, but it's going to get Aquarians really burnt. It's sort of like, looks like Aquarians are a little bit rusty when it comes to relationship, and the Ace of Cups always promises kind of like new emotional beginning, new kind of like feel in the circumstances. So but the Sun is reversed, and the Sun would be new beginning and marriage and children. But Sun is still good when it reverses. Only thing talks about, oh my gosh, I jumped in this fitness regime and I just going to do 3 hours and all I can do is 5 minutes. So that's kind of like that complete burnout. So I think Aquarians are going to be the most mellow, which kind of like is very interesting. I thought that Aquarians are going to be the tornado, but no, Aquarians are going to be the most mellow. Kind of like there is like the fire and water energy together, and that steam, as Dean says, right? So there is like too much steam, maybe kind of like becoming fog. So I think it's kind of like really interesting week for the air. So any questions, any questions, any questions to go to the next one? I kind of like shuffle this, have a sip of coffee. Okay, so who's next? Oh, look at this. We have water. We have water. Talking about water. Water, water, water. Look at this. There is somebody who is like determined to get water out. So let's get water. Let's get water. How do I like my shuffling of the cards? And let me have a sip before I move. Sherry, I don't know if intent is enough, because we all have karma. And actually, I don't know if you noticed, I had new series. And by the way, I should mention, because I'm going in the water, that students are still offering their readings. It kind of like could be something you should consider. It is like only $15. And I don't know, did I put here in the description how to pay this? No, I made something wrong here. Let me just do this. After the payment, please fill the form. We even have the form right now, believe it or not. Here we go. Now it's corrected. So if you go down cattarot.ca/student reading, and there is like a pay link there, and these guys really need to learn, and they're like really good. They're like not bad. So don't think that you're like getting like a bad deal. Actually getting excellent deal, and they get to practice. So it's going to be interesting. So water, 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 water. Messages for water from the 16th to 22nd, 16th to 22nd. Look at that. This is for water from 16. Through Aqua Sun, how you start to write a book, it's actually very simple. You start making sort of like points, and sort of like name the chapters. In these chapters I want to do that, and then under each chapter you make a point, and then sort of like you work backwards. So water, you also have 8 of Wands, and you have 2 of Wands. Oh my gosh, water, you're all in fire. So water and fire, 6 of Wands. And you also have this dreaded King of Pentacles. So I'm wondering, but you also have a 2 of Cups. It looks like there will be cleaning energy. Totally kind of like, look at that envy. So sort of like water is going to handle some situation with flying colors. I really have to tell you, if you have somebody, and this could be boss, it could be some person interfering, somebody who feels like so pompous and so powerful, and is kind of like willing to render basically a verdict about who you are and what you should be, sort of like you have to live life like me sort of a thing. Well, it's maybe works for you, dude, but like, I mean, I'm not so sure about me. But you guys are going to handle it with flying colors, because look at the envy you're going to have from the people. And maybe this is why the person is speaking out of envy, not any other thing. And you guys are actually, whether this is a partnership or love relationship or opening up to that kind of like soulmate, because you need to vibrate on a certain level to attract your soulmate. And you guys are so doing it. Like, it's not going to be like how air is handling. Air had 6 of it's kind of interesting. It's a very similar situation, water. I would really advise you to watch the air. And by the way, if you really want to check your own situation, get my reading or get one of the student readings. It's kind of like really beneficial. But water is going to deal with that gently. It's going to be like when somebody bites you, neither fight or flight. It's going to be, I still love you. kind of a thing. It's going to have a sense of, I don't even care about what you're doing, because it's a kind of clarity over here where fire is going in a really good direction, and it's going to be a really lovey-dovey week for a person of fire. Water is going in a good direction. You'll feel like dating. You might meet somebody really, really important for you. Just be careful if this person might kind of like be too good to be true. Check if this person is calling you in the evening, on weekends, because they just might be married, kind of a thing. So yes, slutty, water is going to go with the wind and water flow. No, air is going to go with the wind, and water is going to go with the flow, I think, right? So that will be Cancer. Cancer, oh my gosh, you're getting King of Swords. We had the Knight of Swords there. So you guys are not particularly like something that is happening for you. So if it's work, really, really, really be careful. I think the best policy would be just like sort of like try to find what is still left that is like really workable in a situation, and just like focus on that, because this is what it's saying about it. And this is sort of like how you defeat people, right? And you know, we just like live around, like we live in times where everybody lashes at everybody all the time. And I'm sorry to say, Cancers are going to be like air, like in this period. Let me just see one more. All right, you've got two more. Okay, the Fool. And this is kind of interesting. This is a new start, guys. You're cutting something off. You probably, you know, when they say like, I mean, if I'm not getting fulfilled, or if you're not there for me, maybe there is a time for me to go. If this is a business, then it's going to be sort of like you'll be opening new horizons, because the Fool is very much entrepreneurial energy, sort of like new focus. There is a sense of being a little bit brutal. Maybe somebody will be brutal toward you. This also could mean, unfortunately, that you guys are going to lose your job, but it's kind of sort of going to be a weird thing. It's going to be a good thing, because if you do, you're going to grant something so quickly immediately after that is going to be immensely better, and maybe you're dealing with a person who is a little bit too much to handle, maybe a little bit obnoxious, and it's going to kind of like stop. Like this is talking about new partnerships, new relationships, and look at this, like we have more fire. So yeah, guys, you're going to kind of like have put abrupt stop to something. Keep in mind, this is kind of like, to me, Judge Judy energy, etc, etc. Hi Sally, we still didn't have fire. You're still on time. So let's go. Who's next? Scorpio. 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 Something flicked. Oh my gosh, you're getting a High Priestess. Of course, Scorpio has to go really, really, really deep. Look at that. We have like these two energy. So it's kind of like maybe sitting on a fence over something, sitting and watching, and it's going to be, Scorpio is very, very dangerous. And it's Scorpio over here in my mini community. Scorpio gets very dangerous when they're like quiet, because they're like, I mean, dangerous, good or bad, it can go both ways, but they're like literally studying you. Like they have that X-ray vision built in, and it's kind of like very, oh, you know what, I almost kicked the cards, and this came through as I was flicking. So definitely it's going to be some kind of mess up. Are you, Scorpio, feeling bad about how you look? Don't you love this card? Look at that. Oh my gosh, like this is actually me. And sort of like obsessing over stuff. Or are you feeling uncomfortable about how you look? Or are you kind of like coming to terms with, you know, well, this is what is going on? Because the High Priestess, again, she's just like really looking, and the Judgment, this is your card. It is a karma card. I think, guys, it's a karmic switch. This is a very, very powerful combination. It is the understanding of things. It is like understanding that you cannot change certain things. It's understanding how you went wrong about things, and how sometimes very little can actually advance you much further than actually going in a conflict. there are going to be lots of partial successes, but lots of like you have these two, like this is a two, this is a two, this is a two, this is a two. You have lots of indecision. Twos are always talking about which way do I go, left or right. But the Judgment is really your card, Scorpio, which talks about clearing certain things from the past, you know, leaving past in the past. And you're doing that but simply meditating, observing, getting into yourself. But like, I mean, it's a good trajectory. Maybe you're leaving one relationship and starting another. Maybe you are leaving behind the fact that you had a negative self-talk and now you're going to put the end to it because you have a Six of Wands. That's the winner card, and it's kind of like really, really good one to go. So Pisces, and guys, get yourself a student reading. It definitely can help the situation. Pisces, something is, look at that. Anything else? Something is getting really hard, and again, look at that fire over here. Scorpio is not going to be that much in a fire. They're going to be able to tame that fire. So will Cancer, but not so much Pisces. Pisces will be like full fire, and something really is going to get really hard. Maybe, guys, you're going to have issues with a child. Maybe they're going to be discipline issue. Maybe somebody is not going to do their homework. Somebody is not going to be willing to collaborate. This is just basically saying you might feel a little bit overwhelmed, kind of too much on your plate, and there is possibility of some kind of like burnout in the situation. See, the Page of Rods is really talking about some young energy that kind of like needs to be kind of like more kind of cultivated, and maybe you're dealing with somebody immature in a situation, and kind of like you're kind of getting tired of how much input you need to put in a situation, and that kind of like it is really bothering you. Actually, now when I'm looking back to Cancer, Cancer also has just fire and air here, so it's going to be really high energy. But Scorpio has full water energy, so it is going to be very different. So this is one of those situations where yes, you do have some kind of baseline, you water signs, but each of you is going to manifest it differently. Like the Cancer is going to almost like be air, and it's going to be literally how the air reacts, like quickly in and out, get a quick decision and move forward really quickly. Scorpio is going to go deep Scorpio, and you know, I feel it, and this is how I feel, and this is kind of like a decision that I'm going to make, kind of deliberation. And Pisces are going to just get like too kind of like tired of swimming all over the place, so it's going to be interesting. So that will be water, guys. It's going to be interesting to see your comments about this and see where we go with this. Okay, so fire, there you go. You see, I don't even have to ask. Through Aquasan already knew what I'm going to ask. You're reading. Hi Barbie, hi sweetie. I just finished. We had air first today, but it's so good to see you. I didn't see you in a while. This coffee is already cold. Oops. I managed to switch to decaf, and my blood pressure went down, and actually I'm feeling much better. Maybe too good. Kind of getting sometimes, I used to get really highly overwhelmed, and now it's actually much better. So hi Sally. I'm looking at you now so I can see who is here. So I really like this little kind of like get-togethers we have in the morning. So this would be fire. You're getting 8 of Cups. Huh. It is reversed. So what are you guys coming back to? You see, 8 of Cups is like, oh, look at all this hard work, and none of that is really great coffee. When 8 of Cups reverses, it sort of like means that there was some kind of exploration. Maybe you wondered if you're in the right place. Maybe you wonder if you're going in the right direction. but also you're realizing, oh my gosh, I'm missing something and I have already had it. Sort of like a feeling when you're a teenager and you kind of like feel in love, you kind of like want to replicate that. You kind of like know that somewhere you already had this feeling. You don't have to look for something new. This can talk about a person, this can talk about a feeling, this can talk about new bigger house, anything like that. It's sort of like very emotional, like, you know, when sometimes people feel, oh, I'm settling, and you keep trying, and then you realize, well, oh, I had it what I need, and now that what I need is what I want, kind of a thing. So fire, Page of Cups, nice. Fire, messages for fire. Can you have new kids? Wouldn't that be a novel concept? Like, I mean, trading kids, like, you know, that's why I never understood when people have these ads, I'm just giving up my cat, I'm moving. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I mean, this is ridiculous. So maybe if we can do it with pets, we can do it with kids. I think they did have those series, kind of like when you switch the spouse or house. I'm gonna call you because I beat anxiety 5 years ago. I want to share it with you. I actually do have a system, and it's called CBD that I work with, and that kind of like really balances me out because I absolutely hate taking meds for it. So, but any suggestions are really, really good, because like sometimes, honestly, I spend like 16 hours not accomplishing anything, and then the work piles up, and then of course it upsets you. So kind of like it will be really good to deal with that. So fire. Look at that. Fire is having the same King of Pentacles. Is this like some person going around and messing everybody up? This is kind of like really, really weird. King of Pentacles. You have also Four of Swords, but you also have Knight of Wands and the Devil. So you know what, Fire? You guys are going to have a good time. You have a choice. It looks like you have somebody from the past, and you have actually somebody in the future. You're kind of like really not sure. It's kind of like really weird. Like you are not in the mood of willing to be with someone, because this is telling me coming back to something. There is like, obviously we see this emotional aspect of it, but look at this. It's a really good balance of all elements that you have. But the Devil card, isn't this an awesome card that actually shows Devil? It's telling me that you're kind of going to have indulgent week. You're going to say, look, you know, I didn't have fun in such a long time. I'm kind of like going to stray away. And it's going to be interesting. Let me just clarify this. Oops. Let me clarify this and see. Devil. Here we go. So Devil is going to feel like giving up on something. You probably have been working on something, and it's going to be initially, look, I cannot do it, I don't want to do it. Maybe this is going to be regarding the contact, because this is definitely like lethargic energy. And this again goes back to this Eight of Cups over card here, and goes to you, especially to Leo, that this is like really feeling the energy. But this Devil card is going to get resolved. You know, it looks like, guys, maybe did you punish yourself, Fire? Have you been hard on yourself? Did you not? You just like let kind of like your hair down and let loose? Because this is really telling me you will. I mean, having a Sagittarius and having a Leo strongly coming through, and it's kind of like going to be really interesting energy. But I have to say, the biggest problem they're going to have is, I want to be alone and I want to do stuff. It's kind of like going to be really all over kind of like the place, but ultimately you're going to end up treating yourself. And there is like this karmic cycle that sort of like is going to start spinning you around. It might be somebody, oh my gosh, you can have possibly 3 people wooing for you. It's kind of like going to be really interesting. Emotionally, it's going to be a really, really good week. You're going to feel like you're doing well professionally. You're going to be accepted at work. You're going to be go, go, go kind of thing. And also you're going to kind of like really have that kind of like hint of romance in the air. So I really thought, you know, this is really, really, really kind of like interesting. So, okay, so let me see who is first. Aries. I had Aries is here. Are Aries is still with us? Aries, 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 Aries. What is going on for Aries? Aries moon, that counts. You guys always check your sun sign, your ascendant, and your moon sign. That kind of like whenever you check readings, check all of them, because these are general readings. You have to put them together. Only in a private one, it's directed to you, to your energy. So hi Angie, and Aries. Aries, look at this. True Aqua Sun, Aries Moon, there you go, Aries Moon, and Quiet Storm, Aries, and Angie, good morning. Okay, Aries, 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 Aries. Ooh, Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups. Are you going to be a little bit emotional? Oh my gosh, look at that. Aries, are you dumping somebody? I really don't feel this is you. There is like some kind of like emotional energy over here. Somebody is very emotional, or you feel being controlled emotionally. Aries, look at this, you're going full water. This is like clearly like you were not that contained over here, but there is like a sense of that something needs to be transformed. This is not necessarily the card of ending, but it can talk about ending. It is kind of like a feeling that something is not fulfilling anymore, because you guys this week are going to go for a moment into this Four of Swords kind of moment, which look at this. And I don't know how many of you did it. Like apparently I do it all the time with cucumber on my face. And it's kind of like a really nice relaxing feeling where you cannot do anything else but simply kind of like being there for yourself. You guys are really transforming something. This is a really, really powerful card. That means something that has been going on cannot go on further. And maybe this is like exactly connecting to that Eight of Cups, kind of like the essence that maybe you left something and now you're looking at it from a different standpoint. So you, I think, maybe work with somebody to kind of get them in a proper shape. Maybe you're simply going to lend a giving hand to somebody, a helping hand. Maybe you might be very emotional this week, but I am not seeing that based on the other cards. Definitely there is going to be emotional shift this week, and it's going to feel very powerful, almost like you will be released from one phase and you're entering into another. But we see it here as well, that there is like sort of like that changeable energy. So just don't overdo indulgence for you. This can also talk about that somebody is manipulating with a whole bunch of emotional strings. That can be an ex sort of a thing, and like sort of like you're really going to kind of like move forward. I think like this is probably on both single and on both kind of like married relationship level for you, Aries. It's going to be a very strong week. This is not the easiest card for you, Aries. You kind of like don't dwell very well in emotion, but it's simply going to be something that's going to be transformational for you. So who is next? Leo. 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 Oh my gosh, Leo, you guys are totally, I mean, as I said, I was feeling you all along. So you're going to happy, jolly week. Looks like you're going to be on your own, and you're sort of like going to feel that the world spins around you, and like you are contained here as well as a fixed sign. It's going to be really literally a week of meeting lots of people. Maybe certain old issues will come to the surface, because here we have Eight of Cups, we have 9, but in your case it's going to be really resolved easy. You are going also in a new kind of like stage, the new shift. The Fool is a really good card. it's kind of like really saying, I'm enthusiastic again, I am loving again, I am willing to learn new things again. And it's going to be really interesting. This is kind of like an attitude where you trust everybody. You literally kind of like say, you know what, I really, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to hesitate from life. And the trusting can, of course, end up being foolish, but at the time being is going to give you like that very almost like supernatural energy. So it's kind of like really, really good. So I really like that. So let me see. Thank you, Lottie, for your help. Thank you, moderators. Hi, Double Moon. Good to see you. So who is the last one here? Sagittarius. Sagittarians. 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 Saggies. Messages. Holy smoke. So now, what are the chances, guys? 78 cards. Did you ever play the lottery? Look at this. We have repetition of devil. We have page of cups over here. And so these energies I already explained in the general one. It is like, this is definitely talking to you, Sagittarians. You're going to be indulgent. It's going to be lots of sex and lots of romance for you. Oh my gosh, Sagittarians are simply going to spend a week in bed. By the way, it looks like it, like it's really going to be flowers and kind of roses and strawberries with the chocolates kind of a thing. This to me is like very, very sexual card, and there is like again the gateway opening to some kind of like newfound feelings. Maybe you have been involved in a relationship with someone that has been sort of like one of those friends with benefits, and that's why you kind of like didn't kind of like want to go and stay in that situation, didn't think that person was for you. But now I think you are starting to think, well, you know, I'm actually really liking to be around this person. Or you might meet somebody who will appear to be again a person you don't really see yourself with in the long term, and very soon that indulgence is going to turn into something actually very real. So this person is going to hit your vibration and your string over here. So it's going to be really, again, lots of water over here that I see with you, Sagittarians. So it's going to be really, really good. So I think this is actually pretty, like, I mean, so far the best from all the signs, or the easiest, even though you all guys have majors to deal with during the week. So yes, Sally, you're married to a Saggy. Any Saggies over here must be single water sign for that kind of treatment. Yeah, that's probably could be it. But keep in mind that Knight of Cups, when you really look at the chart, Knight of Cups describes people, if this is a person, between February 15th and February 18th. So actually this would be the card that would describe me. And I never see myself as wooing somebody with roses, etc. So to me, I kind of like even hate cutting the flowers because you kill them, right? So let's see who is left. It would be really nice to be Saggy. Oh my gosh, like, I mean, maybe we should find ourselves a little Saggy for this period. And just, man, I kind of like got this through the grapevine news. The Sagittarius are getting their emotional stuff in balance. The Sagittarius didn't have it really. They had kind of like a really weird thing going on ever since I started. It was like, at one point, I think I even yelled at them. I was like, stop it. I was getting emails. Hey, are you okay, cat? Are you okay, cat? I just like literally kind of like started feeling the situation. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. It's really weird. Dean, I know, so that's just like kind of like trying to probe how far they can go. Alright, so sick of a coffee. Oh, Sally, maybe you will be the one who will bring the roses and breakfast in bed. In a sense, they are going to feel pampered. Saggies are going to see, you see how this works? Sally is like married to Saggies, and she's right away creating opportunities for this. That's awesome. So who is the last? Who is the sugar? Who is the dessert for the reading? What we didn't do? Earth. Ooh. Earth. Earth. Okay guys, did I ever tell you that I love you? Oh my gosh, this means so much to me that, you know, we get together. I didn't even realize I started live first month after I started, and then it had a whole bunch of technical difficulties, and then I stopped, and then I had like 500 subscribers, and just 5 people showed up, so it was good for them. But then I didn't do it, and I really feel so better connecting like this way. So Earth, let's see, Earth. Hi Sunshine Girl, look at you, like I'm in the right time in the right place. Are you involved with Sagittarius, Sunshine Girl, or you have some kind of Saggy in mind? Because that's the energy that you have this week. Okay, so Earth. Oh Barbie, so sweet. 5 of Pentacles reversed, so that's a good one. Yeah, Earth, did something collapsed in your world? Did you kind of like feel like kind of like something is broken, something is not working, something is not going in the proper direction? That's the dreaded card of being left out in the cold, but luckily it is reversed. When it reverses, it's saying, look, you're kind of like realizing it is what it is, let's kind of like move on from it, you know. I don't have the whole set, but I can work with what I have. It's kind of like working on your own issues and understanding that there are people for you, that there are things that you have built. Just because you slipped on something, not everything is lost. So that is kind of like really, really important. Experience, when you first started, you had 12 subscribers. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So that was like probably end of January. I started January, my first video was January 27th 2017, so it probably was like in this first few days. So yeah, I have been going through a whole bunch of things. So we are going, Jasmine, everybody, we are going through general messages for Earth. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, Earth, you're getting amazing messages. Earth, do you like this deck, guys? Or would you prefer that I do these weeklies with more kind of lighter weight? 7 of Swords. You guys have somebody in your household or somebody in your family who is creating problems. I kind of like really don't like what I see over here. 10 of Pentacles is definitely, as you see, the home card. Home is where the heart is. And for you guys gathering with family, kind of like that exchange is really, really important. You know, maybe you feel that you're giving too much and you're not receiving enough. Maybe you feel that people are just like simply taking away from you, or kind of like undermining your efforts, especially when it comes to kind of like maintaining the family. Maybe somebody doesn't like your partner, and kind of you're really dealing with this gossipy, backstabbing issues over here this week. I'm going to really... This is actually really interesting. And then you have Ace and 10. You are going in a new cycle. You're going in a new cycle with sort of like carrying something on with you. So it's kind of really interesting because you're actually moving away from these crappy people who are doing something. Look at this. Off I go. I'm not interested. I'm gone. And all of you, you know, it's kind of like you see them here. These gossipers. I'm done. I'm done with you. And this is really good because this card here talks about suffering when it's in the upright situation, talks about like somebody against the world kind of a thing. And really struggle, can be really hard. And this card is talking about, okay, you know what, I know who my real friends are. This only thing, you might be a little bit blindsided on somebody, and if you get somebody, if you realize that somebody backstabs you, you literally will go in the air. You're going to leave them behind. You're going to start a new cycle yourself. This Ace, I love I love this ace. This ace is talking about something seed. You put the plant a seed, and you know, like, I don't know if any of you try to plant vegetables or tree. Not always. It kind of like, it doesn't hatch always. So this seed will, and it will grow into something really big, into something really long term. But in order for something to grow, right, you kind of like need to get rid of things that are undermining the process. So almost like it's telling me you are on the right path. You kind of like really know who and what is messing up with you, and it is kind of like time to kind of like say, look, I need to clear this. And just like that intention that you're moving away from it, that you like, it's not argument that you will have. It literally is going to something happen to you that is going to make you take a different direction, and it's going to be just like, I'm done with this kind of a thing, but in a really, really good way. In a really, really good way. A good way. So let me just see. Hi Sammy. Hi Belika. And guys, check the student readings. Definitely, you know, I tried it last week. They had already their first readings and it went really good. They got amazing feedback, so that's really encouraging. And they're my students, and I actually check every reading, so if I need to step in, I will. So Page of Swords and Six of Wands. Look at the swords that you guys have. So you do have your own energy. You are sort of like claiming yourself, but you are so done and over with somebody else. You know how you're going to win the argument? You are not even going to, you might be a little bit, you'll first move away from the situation, and they will start chasing you. They'll start asking, oh, where are you going? What are you doing? What have you done? Almost like the person being completely oblivious to what have they done to you, and then they might have it. They might have it, but in a way they're going to say, listen, I kind of like live my life this way, and this is my little world, and I like it to be kind of like organized in this particular way. And it's not going to be, Page of Swords can be kind of cutting, as you can see. There's lots of kind of like cutting energy, right? But to me, in this particular situation, it talks about being on point and cut through bullshit and saying, look, this is the way it's going to be. So Earth, you're simply going to claim your victory in this particular week. It's going to be really interesting how you're going to switch your mode entirely from your ground to higher vibration, because you need to deal with somebody else's energy, but you're going to resolve it in a masterful way. So good for you, Earth. Really, really, really good. So thanks, Maria. Good to see you. Sammy, hi. So which one is first? Taurus. 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 Oh, Sam, baby. I like one of those names. That's kind of like, it is weird. We in Ontario, I don't know how it is in the other countries where you're from. We have, I think, introduced a driver's license, which kind of has quite a few genders in it, right? So male, female, I don't know what others are, but sort of like, I know that now when you click it, it kind of like gives you more options. And I first noticed when I had to renew my insurance in February. So let's go. Taurus. Again, guys, check the student. If Lati can just give them a link, and also in the description, as I said, in this kind of like side, kind of like announcements, you know, you can get that, or you can get the reading with me. Look at that. We have a repetition for you, Taurus. And there you go, King of Swords. You're definitely, you guys are not going to be as nice and kind. Maybe you need to protect your own family. Maybe you're very protective of what you have become up to this point, and you're not going to allow somebody to undermine that. Maybe somebody is going to try to pierce through your own world with that and try to kind of interfere with your family. This is that certainly kind of like it's going to be putting your foot down. Maybe it is something that you disagree with, that somebody insists upon, you know, like sort of like when you reach status quo. It's kind of interesting that there is like repetition over here, and you actually going from Page of Swords to King of Swords, but it's King of Swords reversed, so it can be very kind of like cut off energy So whether you're going to tell somebody off or somebody will tell you, in any case, it might be a family debate, family discussion. It can also be talk about how you deal with kids. And so you simply are going to have to finish some kind of loose ends, because it still relates to this possible betrayal or possible gossip or somebody being perpetually unhappy. And you know, perpetually unhappy people always find, that's my dad, he always finds the way to destroy the situation. It is just like amazing. Hey, look at how beautiful cake. I don't like this. It's kind of like, how can you always see that glass half empty? It's kind of like absolutely even astonishing that kind of like this is happening. So, oh, this one wants to talk. Indecision over something. I guess it's going to be a hard decision. Maybe it's going to spend you thinking. Maybe you're going to depend on somebody else's decision in a situation after kind of like coming out. Because it tells me that, Taurus, you might be moving away from kind of situation to kind of like safe place for yourself. And it's going to be an argument in your case, which is going to depend on somebody else. Maybe you're going to put like a sort of like, what do you call it, an ultimatum. You know, this is how it's going to be, and you're going to be waiting for their decision in the situation, but it's still not going to come this week. So Virgo. Wow, more swords. Virgo, have you been hurt? I think, Virgo, somebody really hurt you in a way that hurts the most for you. Somebody affecting your sense of stability. Thank you, Sammy. Your sense of stability, your sense of who you are. Somebody affecting your trust has been betrayed badly, because look at this, is at 7 of Swords. It starts with gossip, and gossip sometimes takes a life on their own, and maybe you try to handle that, Virgo. I mean, you try to be better, you try to kind of like really fix yourself, because you're sort of like astrological perfectionist, right? And you really try to deal with this, but like, I mean, no matter what you did was not good enough. So in a sense, this is not a horrible card, because again, look at those tens. Like, all of you earth sign, you're like sort of like in the last stage before shifting forward, and shift forward is actually really good. So I think the shift forward is going to be like really all the way somewhere on Friday, because you still have to kind of clean some stuff. For you, the good news about this card is saying the worst is over, and you kind of like seen something, you face something, and right now the only way to go is up, and it's kind of like a good thing. So Hydeon. So let me see. King of Rods. You know what? This could be you. Just one more. Look at that. These both are really good energies. You are, you know, you're defeated, but the war is not over. You lost the battle, but you didn't lose the war. And it's very clear you are sort of like picking yourself up. You maybe even walking away from somebody, because look at them, they're like looking into different directions, and one has kind of like almost like looks like a blood on his sword. So sort of like, right, it's a very similar energy to Taurus, especially if you're dealing with Taurus, that can be kind of like really bloody. And I really hope it's not going to be in a literal sense, but I really don't like how this looks like. But there is like a clear winner over here, and the winner is somebody who said, I'm not going to get conquered. I'm going to kind of get back on my horse, and I'm going to sort of like start doing things for me. It looks like you might be on the receiving end of somebody's verbal diarrhea, but oh my gosh, you're simply going to keep your ground, and you're actually going to start really moving forward with sort of like big steps, kind of like clean that dirt that has been kind of like contaminating your life, kind of a thing. So let me see, Marina. I'm moving away from my family home. Living here was help, but I got to my feet after my separation. I'm going to hurt my 2 Virgo parents. Well, no, not necessarily. You can ask them to come on board and say, listen, you know, like, what do you suggest? And well, hey, my turquoise, you're here. You kind of like ask them to participate in that, sort of like, hey, what do you think here? So that way they don't feel that you're kind of withdrawing from them. And that's definitely maybe your Taurus, right? Yeah, but that could be like kind of that indecision. Maybe you are feeling that indecision. Oh my gosh, how do I go about it? Am I betraying them? Sort of a thing. So you just simply need to kind of energize them to say, okay, I'm just moving to a different place. You have these 2 sixes, guys, that I'm just noticing right now. The entire earth is actually getting in touch and repairing something on their soul. This is a soulmate thing, and you are moving to the next phase, because I think most of you are kind of getting ready for a new phase where, especially if you're single, you will be meeting somebody who is going to be really important for you, and that somebody might be a fire sign. And who is the very last one today? Capricorn. 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 Okay. Huh. Ace of Swords. Very good. That's one of my 4 karma cards. Capricorn. Oh my gosh, this is really, really good. Look at this. You're getting the Earth, the World card. So, and you guys are not a fixed sign, but here are like fixed signs, sort of like something is really fixed in your life. You see how we had a 10? It's kind of very interesting. We had these swords in each of them, like 2 and 10 and 1 over here. This to me is a card of, it can be a card of victory. In your combination, definitely is a card of victory. You somehow are going to simply cut things out inside of you and outside of you. So it's sort of like, who is with me is my friend, who is against me gotta go. So it's kind of like declaring and seeing who your friends are. You guys are definitely moving to the next stage. This is going to be a very good, very productive week. When I see the World card, oh my gosh, like something is really done in a way that you feel really accomplished. So Capricorn, you definitely need to kind of like give yourself a pat on the shoulder and just like say, you know, it's all well. You are on the right path. You are on the right path. And this actually also can mean right now connecting to these, that you might actually meet somebody who will be, or who maybe already is your friend, who might be in one of these 4 signs: Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. It doesn't have to be, but it's going to have a very much of that energy that this is here to stay. This is something that can work out. So if you're singles, that's going to be a week where you can meet somebody or have this like first contact, because Ace of Swords also rules electronic communications and sort of like text, emails, social media, and also with Page of Swords you have lots of kind of like social media here as well. So this is really, really well projected week for Capricorn. So what was it in this time? We have Capricorns and Sagittarians being sort of like the luckiest of the bunch, even though I think all of the signs, to summarize, are sort of like having a kind of like a breakthrough of a point. We are all getting close to this kind of like inflection point, but sort of like tipping over was just like for which one was really already starting while the others are still wrapping up. So guys, would you like me to do Reiki, or you're good? What do you say? What do you say? Bring it on tap. You need some kind of healing, guys? Guess what? I did get the music for Cat Tarot. I did it, so I can actually play it. It's special music. So let me just find it. Let me find it. Is Doug still there? Doug, I'm just checking your email. Oh my gosh. You guys look so fantastic. Oh my gosh. Congratulations. Okay, so let me just see one of my really dear clients. So where did I put that file? Here we go. Tell me what you think about the music also. Okay guys, this is a time for us to simply relax. Thank you everybody who is leaving. For those of you, can you hear the music okay, or do I need to put it louder? Just let me know. I don't want it to be too loud so you cannot hear my guidance. So if you can, Molette is reading my mind. Relax and close your eyes. Just relax. 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 I'll be sending you this healing energy and healing balance to help you go through today and tomorrow and through this whole week with a gentle breeze and with knowing what you need to do and what you need to say. It doesn't matter if you have been suffering, because you will close that door this week. And this week will be something where you are going to realize that the sun can shine all over again and that you deserve it. So for a moment, find yourself in a beautiful meadow and look at the sky. It is a beautiful, bright blue sky. Just swirl around. Be a little child. Touch the ground. Realize how your feet are stamping around out of joy. Look at these beautiful flowers. You are like so full. Your soul is getting really built up and patched up. You deserve. Open your arms and just say, I deserve, and I'm ready, and I'm willing, and I'm open, and I want to be the best I can be, and I deserve better. So I'm leaving the past in the past, and my future is going to be exciting, because I've learned a very valuable lesson. I fell in love, but I fell in love with the wrong person, and now I love myself, and it feels great. So guys, give yourself a huge hug, start to giggle, and start to smile, and start to enjoy this energy of everything being perfect. And just remember, you deserve it. And come back to this Reiki part day after day to reinforce this feeling, to carry you through this fabulous week. And all will be good. Namaste. I love you guys. You can open your eyes now. I hope you guys like that. I hope that you all get this wonderful energy that I was feeling through it. Oh, you like the music. I'm so glad. I was like really giving them a hard time until they didn't get it to the way I wanted. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here. We do have next week summer solstice on the 21st. So I'm going to see you then. Let's kind of like get together, have a coffee in the evening. It's going to be 8 p.m. What day is that? Let me see, 21st. 21st is Thursday. So I'll see you on Thursday evening. Thank you, everybody, guys. I love you and have a wonderful week. If you want a reading from me, you know where to find me. Everything is in the description. All the best. I love you.